For this exercise, we'll take a scan drawing and register it to real-world coordinates so that we can perform heads-up digitizing in exercise 6. This is probably going to be the most tedious and frustrating exercise in the entire training class, but in the GIS world, data conversion always is the most frustrating part. Now, to complete this exercise, you're going to have to pay strict attention to detail. If you don't, your geo-registration will probably not work. If you get it wrong the first time, don't panic. Try it again. If you continue to have problems, we have a geo-registered image that you can use. I'll tell you about it when we get to the end of this exercise. Our first task is going to be to import a scanned JPEG image. So go to File, Import, and then Image, and select the LC_image JPEG file. Once you've imported it, open the map up, and you'll notice that there are land cover polygons throughout the map, as well as coordinates along the outside. These coordinates are in UTM, Zone 18, NAD 27. We'll have to remember that later. The next thing we'll do is create a new drawing. We're going to call this drawing Land. Now open up the drawing and you'll see that there's nothing in it. That's because we haven't entered any points, lines, or polygons. It's also an orthographic projection. Let's right-click on Land and actually change the projection to NAD 27, UTM Zone 18. So we hit the Current Projection button, go to Universal Transverse Mercator, and then Zone 18. Don't forget to change the datum. Now open up Land. Once we're done here, open up Land so that both the scanned image and Land are both open. Under Windows, select Tile vertically. So now they're side by side. Now under the View pane, select Control Points. When this pane opens up, move it into the Project pane in order to dock it. Now we're ready to add our control points. Now the principle here is to digitize the location of each control point on the scanned image and then type in the real-world coordinates for the same control point. We'll do it with 4 points. Activate the LC image and zoom to the entire extent. Now let's move to one of the control points in the upper left so we can see it better. In the Control Points pane, we're going to actually create a new control point and put it right there on the tick mark. Now let's activate Land. Now in this case, we won't create a new control point. We're going to create a blank control point. Right now it's in the land drawing, and here we'll hit Control Point. And in this case, we're going to now type in the value. So 380090 for the X coordinate, and 4701482. I'm not going to worry too much about things after the decimal point because the drawing itself is pretty coarse. So now we've got one control point on the image registered to a real-world control point on the ground. Let's go to the lower left corner. Same thing, we're going to add a new control point and place it right on the tick mark. And now we'll go into the land drawing and do the same thing. We're going to add another control point, but this is a blank one. And we're going to type in the coordinates. So here 380010 and 4696855. Let's move along, go to the third one. So again, we'll zoom to the upper right. And here we're in land, so let's just type in the coordinates now. 386942 and 4701368. Now we have to go back into the image and actually add the control point there on the tick mark. Yep, let's go back in. I had forgotten to put that down. There we go. Zoom back out and we'll go to the lower right. So here we'll add the tick mark, and we'll go back to land and type in the coordinates. 386, 867, and 469, 6741. You'll notice that the control point names are the same between the two components. That's how Manifold matches the points up. Alright, we're done. Now we have to georeference the drawing. So make sure the LC image is active and select the Register button. You're going to perform a numeric adjustment and save an error surface. After hitting OK, Manifold will go through the process of georegistering the image. Now on my laptop this takes about 4 minutes, so this might be a good idea to take a short break. So you should pause the video and return when your registration is completed. Okay, we're back. Now if you hover over the coordinate ticks, you'll notice that the coordinate readout on the bottom gives the UTM coordinates. By the way, if you got this right on the first try, nice job. It usually takes me a few times to get it right myself. Now let's open up the error surface and see what kind of errors we're looking at. And after this, we're ready for lesson 6 to digitize the map. You can see most of the errors are in the middle of the map.